Now, good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Monday, the 30th of June. My disclaimer: I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. In terms of the stats for this week, this is obviously the last day of the month and the quarter. We've got modestly but definitely bullish leading stats today. We've got very, very strongly bullish stats tomorrow. Tomorrow is one of the most bullish days of the year historically, and it's been up 31 of the last 35. We've then got mainly bullish leaning tape for about 3 weeks. The first bearish leading day we've actually got in July is on the 29th. This is obviously an opportunity to do some damage to the upside. The other thing I wanted to mention was we have this July 9 date, which was looking increasingly close, but there were some mentions from the administration suggesting that would get pushed a bit. It appears to have got pushed to Labor Day, 1st of September. So it looks as though that's no longer a deadline for trade deals, and that they're aiming to get at least some of those done by the 1st of September, and we're not going to see lots of tariffs going back on at the high levels. We will see how it goes, but that gives us a window. We will see how that goes from there. All right, great. Anyway, let's have a look at ES. ES, we've got some negative divergence here, possible weak 6-minute sell signal brewing. Waiting to see. We've seen a pretty strong rise overnight. What's wrong with my data this morning? I'm looking into that today. It's not looking quite the same as it was, but I'll be looking into that. But in the meantime, we're going slightly over this trend line here, which I'm liking, and I would like to see this continue to push higher towards the targets I want to look at. Now, one thing I wanted to mention was I was saying I just made a comment, and I made it on Twitter as well on Friday, that there were 3 things I'd really like to see to cement the bull case for July. DAX and the STX to break back over and convert their daily middle bands. DAX certainly is back over it at the moment. Solana and Ethereum to break back over and convert their daily middle bands. Solana's back over at the moment. IWM and RTY to break and convert the current rally high and start delivering on the large IHS there. And IWM has made a higher high, but RTY has not quite made it so far. I'd like to see that make progress, because I'm very aware that the main bullish pattern we've got here is on RTY. NQ, possible 60-minute sell signal brewing. Hang on, bear with me. I am wondering if we might see a bit of retracement for here, but it's possible, of course, it'll just through it. On RTY, we've got a possible weak 60-minute sell signal brewing, and we've almost made it to a higher high here, but haven't quite made it. YM has been on a tear. And this is none of these original level tops on that looked like those on ES and NQ and YM now still look like double tops. But we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed there. We've got some negative divergence here. Nothing on DAX, but we've got an IHS. The IHS I was watching has broken up, and ESTX, it's breaking up as well. Monthly pivot is only the monthly pivot for today, so I'm not treating that as a serious resistance level now. And we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay. Right, I'm still watching the possible wedges here, decent looking ones on SPX and on NDX particularly, but I think it would have gone up through both of those this morning. I would like to see these trend lines broken fairly thoroughly. We will see how that develops, but my feeling is that's probably going to happen. But I was getting comments last week. This was an obvious point of failure, and it obviously is an obvious point of failure. But on the bull scenario, we go up through it. DAX, Dyer and IWN haven't quite reached the ideal trend lines anyway, but really on SPX we've now retested and gone through the all-time high. On Qs we have now retested and gone through the all-time high. Dyer is making very nice progress towards it, but obviously it's still significantly short. I've got that up at 446.72, and we've made it up almost to 440 at the moment. I'd like to see that push through, and that's the one I would like to see next. Looking at IWM, but I think with this the July 9th deadline being pushed back to Labor Day, again, that gives us another 7-8 weeks in order to do some damage, and I think with any luck, that's exactly what we're going to see. All right, looking at IWM on the daily. Obviously, we've made a higher high on IWM. We haven't really got any strong resistance on watching here particularly. We're really through it all. It's I want this not to be at all top, obviously, and I would like to kind of see this continue higher. On DAX, we saw a break with confidence over the daily middle band, which was something I was waiting to see, and we've now delivered on that. And Nikkei, where I was saying this was likely a very, very spiky bull flag, this is broken up, and actually that's now made a lot of progress towards retest this high here at 42.4. So at the moment, it's all light green. In terms of the historical stats, as I said, we've got lightly bullish stats today. Then we've got a very strongly bullish day, one of the most bullish days of the year tomorrow, for the first trading day in July. Then we've not really got any strongly bearish trading days till the 29th of July. We've got a strongly bullish day on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week. Thursday and Friday the week, and Monday the week after. No, the next bearish leading day is actually Monday, the 21st of July. We've got a pretty good window here, and we will see whether we can go up and do some upside damage. I'll be doing a post looking at the where we are on in terms of the post I was doing, laying out the bull scenario 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm going to do update post, but it's probably going to be tomorrow because I'm going to be working on admin all today, I think. All right, great. In that case, let's move on. Let's have a look at DX. Now, DX, we've got this little falling wedge here, and that's broken up. And this looks like a little bear flag at the moment, so I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this low, which I'm wondering, I haven't quite seen that so far, I don't think. Not sure. Wait a second. All right. Have we seen that retested already? Yes, we have. In that case, we've got a little potential level bottom here. Obviously, we're in a huge inflection point here on DX, and I'm wondering about this breaking up. And we've actually got quite a lot of positive divergence on the weekly charts on US dollar. And that hasn't fixed into signals so far, but obviously it might. CB, we've got a little higher here. We haven't got a bad looking rising wedge here, but the main thing I was looking at yesterday was on TLT, not a bad little rising wedge here. This is suggesting we're going to go down to wedge support at least and may well break down. And the other thing we've got is on TNX, where we have a really nice looking little falling wedge here, which has been established. Now, it may be that won't last the day, but if it does, then that is suggesting that at minimum we're going to see a move back to wedge resistance up here at about the 44.9 area, 43.9 area, and then a break up and very possibly a return to 46.9. We will see how that goes. All right, great. Let's have a look at CL. CL, this looks like a little bear flag, which is trying to break down, but it may still be forming. The 60-minute buy signals reached the possible near miss target. On HO, it reached the possible near miss target and then came all the way back down. Again, this looks like a flag that's broken down, but it could still be forming. We could see a higher high and then come down and retest the low, but chances are it's going to involve a retest of the low. RBOB, bumping along the bottom at the moment. I was looking at the bigger picture charts, and I have to say I'm wondering about a move back down to retest the 2025 lows. We'll see how that develops. NG, we had a really nice bounce on Friday, and much of that has been given back this morning. I was wondering about potentially an enlarged pattern, maybe heading on the weekly chart, maybe heading back up into about the 410, 415 area, but at the moment that doesn't appear to be happening. If we come back and retest this low, of course, it could give us a target up there. GC, still not making target on the bull flag at the moment. Maybe we're just seeing too much bullishness on equities in the market to see that retest as yet. SI, trying to break down from this double top, but this is now forming very much like a bull flag. And I will note that we've now got this 1, 2, 3 nice looking support trend line, and that could hold. Palladium, 60-minute sell signal is fixed, possible little level top, wondering about retracement here. Platinum, 60-minute, it's a weak 60-minute sell signal is fixed. Hang on a second. So I'm really looking for for a bit of retracement here too. Bigger picture, we've got a lot of daily negative divergence and split sell signals on the platinum chart, which has really come a very, very long way in a short time. HG, we've reached a possible resistance trend line here, rising wedge. We will see this is going up with equities, and I'm not thinking equities is done. This may not be done either. KC, very nice looking falling wedge here. We came down perfectly to wedge support. Wondering about a breakup and at least a retracement. SP has broken up from this falling wedge, and I think the next obvious step would be, I was commenting on the bigger picture last night that this looks like a bear flag forming, and I'm thinking we're probably going to see a retest this low. That may be making the second low of a double bottom. CC, I'm keeping an open mind. I think the bigger picture is probably leaning towards the downside, but at the moment no one seems to have sent CC the memo. CT, this has been back testing a little. Not viewing, obviously, we've got all new monthly pivots tomorrow morning across the board and everything, so I'm not really taking this particularly as a seriously as a support level, but I think this is a bit of a retracement, but I'm actually leaning more towards the upside. On lumber, nice looking rising megaphone here, slightly weakened by the fact we didn't actually quite hit the megaphone support on the last swing down, but looking nice. Potential level top here now. I'm liking the downside. On ZW, we've broken down from this big megaphone. I am wondering if this might go lower. Possible little double bottom setup here at the moment. On corn, we've got this nice looking falling megaphone again. We've made it to support. This looks like the low probably needs a retest, but if that holds, the obvious next target would be up here at about the 4.3 area. On soy, we broke down from the megaphone. We made target at the megaphone base. Could be bottoming out here short term. 60-minute buy signal has now made target. Made the possible near miss target, but it's pretty damn close. On soybean oil, we've got this possible inverted head and shoulders that's been forming for days. If that breaks up, that would have a target in about the 54.50 area. On live cattle, this looks like an inverted head and shoulders forming. I'd be leaning towards seeing a right shoulder form here. If it didn't, then I'd be wondering about an asymmetric double bottom and breaking up with a target at a retest of this high. On lean hogs, we broke down below the rising wedge support. Possible head and shoulders forming here, and we'd be forming the right shoulder at the moment. All right, great. Let's have a look at questions. All right, well, my pleasure as always, guys. This is pretty interesting. We've got a lot of bullish. We've seen this move back to Labor Day on the tariffs, which gives us basically till the end of August, and we have seen a lot of nice bullish tape. And some of the things I was looking for next have happened. Solana's back over the daily middle band. DAX is, I think ESDX is too. I'm liking the upside on here, and we have quite a lot of bullish looking days over the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow is one of the most bullish days of the year. I think that's about 90% green. So I'm not expecting, we've got a bit of negative divergence here. We might see some retracement. I'm not expecting to see anything dramatic, and I'm not seeing any sign of a big reversal here. All right, great. My pleasure as always, guys. Everyone take care. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning.